Hi guys, we have like an unusual setting for this routine. Like I promised, we're going to do mostly quads. There's no weights, no equipment necessary, but the wall. So there's a real lineup of exercises. So I'm just going to basically go through each exercise as fast as possible, as not to turn this into another 12 minutes video, okay? So the first exercise is squat and rock. So because there's a lot of squatting here, which by the way, we're going to do in a more neutral position, so the legs closer to emphasize the work of the quadriceps, I am going to maybe allow you not to take your squats as low as usual, because you know, it would make sense to have you doing an hour of squatting and expect every single one to go as low as they usually go, right? So squat rocking is exercise number 1. So you go into your squat. Also, I have like a knee injury that doesn't allow me to do too much. And then we're gonna go onto your toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels. And you're gonna do this for a little while, okay? There's a hell lot of wall sits in this routine, and the first wall sit here is one with the toe raises. So we're gonna get a little bit of calf. So you do your wall sit, like I said. If you're not at parallel, it's not the end of the world. And we're just gonna do calf raises. My bad, you have to keep your bum back. Yeah. Also neutral here, about 90-degree angle here. Body weight usually in the heels. This one here in the toes to get a little bit more quad. So we're going to move on to our next exercise. Squat hold with flies. So see, you go down, oh my bad, a little bit more narrow. I'm not in the habit of doing this kind of squats. We go down and then we do flies. So we just push the knees out and then in, right? So a little glute activation while you're doing this exercise. So we now have another wall sit. This one here is called leg bike. So you sit as low as you feel comfortable doing. Going, and then we're going to use this one leg to do what is like a bicycle, right? So you're lifting the leg here, you're going to use your hip flexors and your quads. So one direction, the other leg. Stay as square as possible. Sometimes you can even use your arms here. And then we're going to do a tip-toe split squat. So your usual split squat just goes up and down. But if the step is wide enough, there's a lot of emphasis on the glute. So the front leg, we're going to put it on the toes, and we're going to do it up and down from the toe position. So, haha. My knee is very unstable. So when you're done to one side, you do the other side, toes, oops. And we go up and down. All right, our next exercise. Our next exercise, wall sit with flies. So I'm gonna sit again and just push my knees out like we did in the squat earlier. So wall sit, and we push outward. Yeah, just, you know, sort of passing time while we're doing our wall sit. Quad, quad, quad. The next one requires you to kneel. So I have no problem kneeling on the hard floor, but you feel free to use, for example, a mat. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go from a kneel to a squat, right? And we just do the whole series here. Squat, one side. You can alternate if you want. All right, so maybe the next time when you come back, you do the other side. So we're gonna do a wall sit with a front raise now. So another one of those. Now we have a raise and the raise here through the quads. And also the hip flexors. When you're done with the one leg, the other leg. We have 2 more exercises. One is called the sprinter. So there's this like really cool lunge where you go forward and then you go back. I call it forward to back lunge. But in order to like put so much more emphasis on the quads, we're going to keep it low. So I'm gonna lunge and I'm gonna stay kind of crouched a little bit as I'm going back. You can even touch the floor. And I'm just gonna go back and forth, back and forth. And believe it or not, the support leg, this one here, is the one who's gonna suffer the most. And then when you're done, you do the other side. So stay down. So this leg never really extends, it stays always bent. And that's that. And then finally, sissy squats. So those really, really work quite well. So I prefer to hold because, like I said, stability, and it goes like this. You're gonna push your knees in the floor, and the idea is to take the angle out of, or to close the gap behind the knee. while keeping the hips open. So I'm gonna lean forward as I'm coming down. Come back, push. Come back, push. Come back. So those are the crazy exercises for your quad routine today. So we're going to do a little bit of cardio here. I figured we're just going to keep it, you know, sort of leg related. So I have noticed from doing those live classes that a lot of you have like 2-level homes, right? So there's definitely at least a set of stairs around you, if not in your house, maybe on the outside. So I thought we would take advantage of the stairs today. So probably the easiest way to use the stairs is just to run up and down certain amounts of times and then do an exercise and then continue to do so. And like I said, after you've done the quad routine, you have 20 minutes, for example, you just do these exercises until the 20 minutes is over. That's it. So I'm just gonna go just run the stairs, right? So go forward. In my case, I'm not gonna go backwards or invent any new moves here. I'm just gonna go down, then I'm gonna go up. Maybe I'll do that like 3 times before I do my first movement. Which my first movement here is squat hop, and maybe I'll just do 10 of them. Squat hop, 10. And this time also as neutral or like smaller, right? More quad. I'm gonna do 10 of those. Then I'm gonna go stairs down, stairs up. 3 times. I'm gonna do in and out squats. Out, out, out. If you stay low, you get more quads. Maybe I'll do this 10 times. I'm gonna go. The next one is a plank with a jack. 3 times. So I'm gonna do jack legs. Forgive my turning around to show you what this is about. So I'm gonna plank and move the legs out. Let's try one more time. Go down, go up. Skaters, side. Maybe grab a sip of water and repeat.